be putting in work this round. We have
Brad's deck's a little...
We have full foil blue-white control.
Triple sleeved.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He could pull a Turtenwald and quadruple sleeve. And he is playing against... What is this?
It looks like Esper, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, he's playing against Esper Control, so we're going to have a highly interactive last round.
I like it.
And this is a win-it-in, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm game for this. Brad, of course, being a regular, and Brandon I've seen on the scene a couple times.
Now, what's Brandon's last name?
His last name is Vickers, I believe.
Brandon Vickers versus Brad Lee.
Yes, sir. So we're... Interesting. It's going to be... I love, like, the Esper matchup earlier.
Yeah.
I love good interactive gameplay and something that's not Tron running a train on the rest of the fields.
Of course.
All right, so that's gonna be Brad on your right, and he is, yeah, those are oversleeves over those, isn't it?
He went and got himself some custom sleeves, so of course you have to get the oversleeves to protect your custom sleeves in order to justify the expense.
Yeah, and at that point you have the inner sleeves. And you have I don't know if you saw the fiasco that was like Owen Turtenwald's quadruple sleeve deck.
I think I missed that.
He was like shuffling with his arm. He had to. Like he legitimately had to shuffle with his arm.
Of course.
But he could, and that is the rule. As long as you can comfortably shuffle your deck. I'm stretching the word comfortable, but...
I mean, he did it.
Yeah.
Now, if that sits down across from you, when it's time to cut your opponent's deck, do you cut or do you shuffle?
I shuffle and I say it's uncomfortable. Be like, Judge, I know he can do it, but no one else in the room can, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if we can kind of center Brendan's name for y'all just to not have his potential wins bleed over.
Yeah.
Awesome. Long names, long deck titles. As long as it's not the 4-letter word Tron, we're good.
Hey, Tron's just doing nothing but winning today.
Brad opting to remove the die from the play area altogether, which is perfectly fine. Paul opting to move the die back. No, as long as it was within their play space, as long as it's comfortable for them to play with, they of course have to verbally agree that they're okay with it.
Right.
Paul's kind of showing them the confines of like where the feature match goes.
Although that is too far.
Yeah. And we have no problem here.
No, we'll be all right.
Yeah, this format's fine. When it's like a limited format, something like that is...
Yeah. Brandon here knows the exact confines of what we like. He's got his hands basically perfectly there.
Yeah. Alright. So this is Brandon. Okay, so yeah, they both have their 7s. No one's resolved mulligans yet. And that's the knock.
Right.
That's the go ahead. So these players can begin. Didn't quite see the die roll. Can't quite make out every single card in Brad's hand. There's a logic knot. I see that.
Sir.
See that foil logic knot. And I
I
raise.
believe that as a ghost quarter. Here we go with a fetch. Just getting it started early.
Possibly going to fetch shock here in order to play the Serum Visions in his hand, if he had it, right?
No, he's just going for the basic. This matchup, especially with just 2 color.
Look at that basic.
Yeah, he doesn't need a shock.
Look at how beautiful. That's a pretty, pretty land there.
This is what happens when Magic players get good jobs.
Not only do you get to play the deck you love, but you get to play the versions of the cards you love.
Exactly.
In a foil form.
And the only reason that is a foil cons fetch is because he can't find good quality onslaught foil fetches.
Yeah. So yeah, he is going to Serum here. He's going to draw. Scry 2.
That's Gideon Jura.
And Spellcaller.
I believe that's a Supreme Verdict, sir.
Is that Supreme Verdict?
Yes.
Similar arts. Thank you, Wizards.
Both on top, I agree.
Does Brad play Spellcaller?
I'm going to say no.
Let me double check. He does not. I know some of the versions.
That is, however, a
Do.
Condemn in his hand.
Absolutely. Playing both Path and Condemn for the non-existent Death Shadow matchup.
I haven't seen a single Death Shadow today.
People have been on it, but that doesn't mean they've done well with it. Seems like the format's kind of shaping up to where people are used to it. It's still a very good, very resilient deck.
Yes.
We are going to have a fetch shock here out of Brandon. Possibly. Looks... Yeah, fetch shock. He's going to play Serum Visions of his own. Both of the players starting off on probably their first turn. Their typical first turn play, if not tapped land. Right.
Yeah. Basically ideal here. Less than ideal is shipping both to the bottom.
Yeah, when Brad kept both on top.
Yeah.
Brad, though, keeping a Supreme Verdict when Brandon... It may not be warranted in this matchup. It's good because it can't be countered.
He may have kept it just because it's generally good, but not realizing that it may not be good in this matchup if he didn't know what Brandon was on yet.
Absolutely.
He did go first.
That is almost the exact same color as the spell color art in the
Yes.
exact same placements.
I believe he just empty shocked. He did.
Yeah.
Just in order to leave up Logic Knot in case Brandon played anything.
Alright, so he's going to draw that Gideon that he kept on top, and he's just going to pass here. Both players having to play a tricky, walk a fine line, you know?
Yeah.
Because who blinks first, right? That's the game we're playing. Who dedicates first, and their thing gets countered, and now you're tapped out. Let me dedicate, right?
Yes. There's another shock.
Do you play Control often?
I love it, yeah.
So what is your take on like where you want to be in the Control mirror?
Make your land drops.
All right, so
That's
fetch off
the
Brad.
most important thing.
Yeah. And it becomes more... I think there's decks that teach players that very well, like the Control deck in Standard right now.
Mm-hmm.
You want... Your win condition is Torrential Gearhold, so you want to hit your land drops. And I like decks that teach you how to play certain decks in other formats.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool, because you have lower end cards here in these Control decks, but it's super interesting that you get to just, like, learn from Standard how to correctly play Modern. Right? I'm going to have fetch from Brad, but he's going to enter tap.
Yeah, that's a cryptic command.
Yep. I asked him last week when we went to the PPTQ at Heroes if he knew the correct ordering, and he goes, yes, I do. like sad almost, as if like someone had taught him a lesson. All right. Both players hitting their land drops, right?
And Brad's got this Ghost Quarter. Benefits of being 2 colors instead of 3. He gets the main deck Ghost Quarter, where I don't think Brandon can afford it.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it is not in Brandon's main. Brandon, however, having Creeping Tar Pit, which matches up decently against a lot of what Brad's doing.
The unblockability is
He's just going to draw and discard, so he is the first to miss land drop. Brandon to the left.
And Brad just continues to make his.
Alright, so there's
It's getting close to the point where he commits on something with counter backup.
Exactly. It's actually one turn away from safely doing that, right?
He can go now. If he can get Jura into with Logic Knot.
Logic
backup.
Knot, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what we're gonna see here.
So Brad blinking first here, but correctly so, because he has the ability to. Holding up Logic Knot, which just started to see play, and I'm all for it. Counting the number of cards in Brad's library.
I think he might be checking. Yeah, he would have to be.
Yeah, no, Brandon knows about the Logic Knot.
Yeah.
They've probably matchups they've both tested. Looks like there's a counter swall in Brandon's hand, so he can actually counter swall and pay for Logic Knot.
He can. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna opt to do something different.
He's gonna go straight for the cryptic?
Oh man,
I don't think I agree with that.
no, because I see the counter swall in his hand. Right? Am I incorrect on that? Yeah, I very much so. So was he baiting? Yeah, Brad telling him to pause because he hasn't.
Hold on, let me resolve this Gideon.
Yeah, let me plus real quick. Remind me of the abilities on Gideon Jura.
I believe it's +2.
Your opponent's things must attack, right?
Yeah, they must attack, and they must attack Gideon.
So maybe that was the thought process, is Brandon now made Brad soft to collective brutality.
And Gideon's -2, destroy target tapped creature. Or you can just... his ult is just a 0. He's a 6/6.
Oh, wow. And he's going to take Brad's Cryptic, and he's going to answer that Gideon.
Cleanly with a detention sphere.
So I see his thought process. I see kind of where he wanted to be. I don't agree. I still don't agree trading Cryptic for Cryptic.
For Logic Knot.
Yeah, you could have just paid for the Logic Knot, but the thought is that Brad knows that now.
Yeah.
Right? If he goes Counter Squall, Brad's like, oh, okay, you can just pay for the Logic Knot.
I believe that's a spreading
Yeah,
seas?
that is the spreading seas. They're for a main board. So he's going to get to make an island, as it were. And I love the way he just did that. I've never seen a player do that.
I do. I enjoy that as well.
Yeah. So he gets to untap with what he's marking as an island, instead of just having that watery grave over there.
Here's a fetch land. Likely going to get him another black source.
Man, there's some correct basics being chosen. And that is a Jace Architect of Thought.
Yes. As I expected, we're seeing a -2 here. Look at the top 3. Your opponent looks at the top 3.
Many factor fic.
Yeah.
As it were. It's kind of like
Makes 2 piles.
It's an anticipate, but make 2 piles.
I agree with these piles.
Yeah.
If he gets that ancestral now, he's going to have time.
Oh. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to take the ancestral. Correctly so.
That's exactly what I would have done there too.
But he's not going to suspend. He's going to hold up the Counter Squall. Does this just let Brad know you have it? I mean,
yeah, he just telegraphed it really hard.
Yeah.
That his opponent has something on 2 mana.
And Brad has multiple cards in hand. I don't know if you can afford to just like telegraph.
All Brad has is Supreme Verdicts.
Yeah, of course. Brandon
and a
not
Condemn.
knowing that.
Yeah, he's just looking at a bunch of creature removal. And
This
not a
Jace
whole
could get
lot
out
else.
of hand. Can you remind me of the ultimate? His Search Player's Library, right?
Oh,
Search
is that this one? Yeah.
Yeah, Search Player's Library, grab a card, do things.
Cast it.
Yep.
Free.
So grab your opponent's win condition. Do
Yes.
it. Right. Alright, we're going to have a fetch out of Brad, so we're going to have the first like life total change in
Quite a while.
fair bit, yeah. The other life total change is just being fetches and shocks, but this Jace has the opportunity to get out of hand really fast.
Brad does need to find an answer.
Yeah. So while Brad is still, to this moment, ahead on lands, at this point, he needs to draw something. And at this point, Brandon still has Counterclaw.
Yes.
And
It's a mono blue card. That's a Snapcaster. Okay.
Okay, a Snapcaster with Logic Not Serum in yard?
Yes.
Alright, don't telegraph. I'm a big fan of just not doing that at that moment. Like, I always lay out in a way that I know what's in my graveyard. And every little nuance I always examine that my opponent does, and that's a telegraph for me.
Yeah.
You see, you start grabbing your
draw
graveyard.
the Snapcaster, you immediately
at this point
need to look at your graveyard.
Yeah, at this point, you're not separating your graveyard for Logic Knot. I know that because I can pay for almost anything.
Yeah, here comes the Thoughtseize.
And he's gonna see that snap. Yeah, the correct snap, not the soccer player.
Yeah, we got Tiago coming into play, not whoever they used for that model before. Looks like he's gonna go ahead and flashback Cryptic Command.
Counter draw, right? And Brandon has Counterspell, so the burden of proof's on him now. Or Countersquall. I don't think that he needs to play it.
No, he's probably fine.
He has an Ancestral that's going to pop. That Snapcaster is not a clock.
No.
Colonnade is also not a hard clock.
Though Brad hasn't drawn one yet.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So he doesn't have it. That needs to be exiled, yes, sir. So Cryptic Logic Knot Serum was in Yard. Now it's Logic Knot Serum. Yeah, what I was saying before is I'm just a big fan of not telegraphing.
Yeah, he
Every
should have
little-
kept his hand off a graveyard after he drew that Snapcaster for sure.
Yeah, like right after he drew, he separated Yard, and that's a big show.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. We got Serum Visions.
And yeah, there's no reason. Don't ever counter the Serum Visions. Counter the card they get with the Serum Visions.
Yeah.
Ooh, both bottom. So while Serum Vision does a good job of filtering, it's actually just better to know what you're going to draw and that it's a good card. Feels bad. Alright.
Okay, now we have a Colonnade in play.
We do have a Colonnade, and Snap's going to get in for 1.
Yes.
Because of Jace's +1 ability.
Thanks, Jace.
Alright. Correctly removing his Ancestral counter. And there's an Onslaught fetch, Brad.
But it's not foil.
That's
That's
true.
what matters to Brad. Or plus on Jace there.
I hear people talking about Tron outside the room.
There's a lot of Tron today.
There's a whole bunch of Tron. A lot of people brought combo. A lot of people got punished.
Looks like an animated Colonnade there.
Alright. Yeah, Brad needs to start doing things.
Yes. That Ancestral's coming real soon. And now we get to see the real beauty of the Vigilant Manland in a control deck, where it gets to attack and then still be kept up for mana, though it is pathed here.
Yeah. But that also being prevalent in the Esper matchup, too, that we saw earlier. It's so great that, like you were saying, in a control deck, okay, well, now I get to pass turn with my mana still up.
Yeah.
No players seem to be playing low impact counter spells, such as like Mana Leak.
Yeah, it looks like it's all hard counters.
We do spell scenario. An interesting thing that we have main board for Brad, that if he draws it and resolves it, is game changing. Is Sphinx's Revelation.
Yes.
Much
Yes,
like
it's-
any the standard format that it was in.
Yeah. That's one of the benefits of playing the blue-white control as opposed to the Esper or Grixis, is you get to play Sphinx's Revelation.
And that's just the glacial fortress off the top. So Brandon's not applying pressure in which to warrant Brad having doing Supreme Verdict. Yeah, this Snapcaster just keeps trying to get in at this Jace, and
There's another path.
Brandon is done with it.
I don't blame him.
So that Snapcaster should not be in Yard. It's not high impact on this game.
Yeah, it's not going to be super relevant until the next Logic Knot gets drawn, but
Yeah, if Brad does Logic Knot the Snap, we will we'll make sure that we correct that. As of right now. And there it goes. Draw 3? Never mind, draw 4. Right?
ugh, recall.
Well, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. It's like a slightly better divination because you don't have to invest into it later.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a one mana more, like 1 turn slower, but also 1 more card.
Yep. All right. Serum Visions.
Serum Vision's actually being a powerful card in this matchup because it's all about leaving your lands up, right?
Yeah.
And so you're low impact, you are finding win conditions.
And he kept them both on top. He likes them.
Looks like he has a Damnation in his hand. Actually think that Brad drew one of his rounds, and we may see him go to time on this round. Just because, purely how slow both the decks play.
Yeah. And game 1 is the slowest of the 3 games, potentially, for this kind of matchup, just because they're their main decks are set up more so for the aggro matchups,
Exactly.
such as Brad's Double Supreme Verdict, Condemn in his hand right now, and having nothing else.
Yeah.
Though he did find a second Colonnade, so he can start bringing the beats again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no one's bringing the beats. It's just a Jace plussing.
Yeah.
So what are the win conditions in these decks? I see Planeswalkers. Is the rest just frustration?
Yep, Colonnades, Manlands, and Planeswalkers.
We have
for
an
both
Ashiok
decks.
Nightmare Weaver, two of in the Esper control deck.
Wow.
So
That's a win condition.
Yeah, it's a win condition, and he gets to say that I get to play your cards too, and we're on similar decks anyways.
Yep.
Gosh, third path.
Wow. And he's playing the objectively correct paths too. That is.
Oh man!
the superior
Don't
art.
get me no.
What?
Don't get me started on this. We talked about this. The not you and I, but a large sum of the room. We had one person agree that those paths are correct. The rest of the room said that the other promo paths are correct.
The FNM promo paths?
Yeah, the
Are
actual guy,
garbage.
the actual guy walking on a path to exile, not the random Viking funeral.
God, I don't care.
Elspeth's Son's champion coming down for Brad, and that's not gonna stick. That's actually gonna get mana leaks. Wow, we thought we were past that point.
Nope. Turns out.
Still good. Still good. And there it is, Ashiok Nightmare Weaver. So it's going to plus make Brad mill 3 cards. And a little bump. And Ashiok's going to get to cast those cards if Ashiok so chooses for a -X equal to the CMC of the card.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember what Ashiok's ult is. It's and we may get to it.
I'm expecting us to get to that Jace ult here very soon.
Yeah.
Ashiok's ult, -10, exile all cards from all opponents' hands and graveyards.
Actually kind of relevant. What is that?
That is an FNM promo I do not recognize.
Double white? What is this? Is that Wall of Omens?
He did draw a card.
Yep, I see the PT.
Okay, yeah.
Promo Wall of Omens.
FNM Wall of Omens, let's go.
Brad says, Brandon says, sure, Brad, have your wall. have your what? 0-3?
4.
0-4. Right. You can have it. We're good. This Ashiok will start Nephalia Drown Yarding you. Slow way to kill somebody.
Yep, there it goes.
But already at 7.
Double Ghost Quarter and Detention Sphere, which would have been great on this board.
Yeah. And Jason's just going to plus again. That's going to be a Dark Slick Shores, and Brandon's just going to pass.
Just letting Ashiok do the work.
Man, I don't think there's much Brad can do. He has so much dead removal.
And he's drawn it all.
Yeah, Brandon, I
believe he just picked up another Snapcaster.
other than Manlands, Brandon and
Here we go.
Snaps.
That's a Gideon.
I believe he still has the Counter Squall, correct?
He's holding blue cards.
I think I still see the Counter Squall in his hand. Yeah, Brandon is only playing Snaps and Vendilion Click as creatures.
Really?
Yeah, and Creeping Tar Pits.
Okay.
Right? So the main win condition... Oh, looks like we have a judge ruling.
And Counter Squall. Responded by Snapcaster. There's still a Logic Nut there. I think that's the only counterspell he's got left.
Okay.
Yep, go get him. That Snapcaster should not have been in his graveyard.
Jonathan.
Yeah, we just had to step out for a little judge call there. That Snapcaster should have been exiled as it got hit by a Path to Exile 5 or 6 turns ago. But it was placed in graveyard instead of the exile zone. So we're just gonna... Chad stepped out, go grab the head judge, and take care of that for us. Looks like he's talking to the table now. Yeah. Wonder what the ruling's gonna be there. Yeah, he just has to delve an extra card. Now, Chad. It sounds like Chad's about to come back in. What was the ruling, Chad?
The ruling that the Snapcaster, of course, should have been exiled earlier. Try not to intervene on the feature match too much. But as commentators and as spectators, we are fully allowed within our rights to point that out.
Right.
So actually, for missing it, both players are going to receive a warning because
Okay.
the path should have exiled.
Yes.
And that burden is on Brandon, but is also on Brad to upkeep that because of the logic knot.
Yes.
So Brad's getting a warning for the logic knot.
Okay.
Brandon is receiving a warning for the path.
All right.
And that's going to be the ruling. Neither have warnings for the entire other rest of the day, so
Yeah.
we're good there. Just a little bit of clarification.
Yeah. So looks like that logic not ate a mana leak anyway, and
Yeah.
Gideon is countered.
Brad's still able to stick Snapcaster, but so was Brandon. And of course, I noticed in the chat, it is always that we definitely want to be hyper vigilant about those sort of things, rather than making it to where it was at that moment. But at the current game state, it seemed as though it was pretty one-sided. Weren't expecting Brad to then draw the Snapcaster, and this is also our first time doing something like this, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And so it was interesting. I had to make sure with the judge when I went out there that this was something we could even do, right? So
Now, at what point, if you're Brad, do you just scoop?
you want to get in more games, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're 25 minutes into game 1 now.
Yeah, and
It's not looking good.
You have no more cards in hand. Brandon is exiling. He's Natalia drowning you.
And he has his own Gideon. And there he is. Okay, he sees the light. He's scooping now.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna have a game 1 going to Brandon V. Make sure each players get the correct cards back. All right, so let's move into sideboards now that the snafu seems to be cleared up. So first off, we're going to start with Brad's sideboard. So he has, starting at the bottom, so we have Spell Color. Maybe not expecting that to come in this matchup.
I mean, he might just want that 2-power flying.
It's true. Maybe on the play it gets better.
I do see that Vendilion Click coming in, though.
Yeah, so Engineered Explosives.
Not likely.
Not a reader.
Celestial Pence?
Yeah, I'm unsure on that.
I don't know that card.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brad. Stony Silence, I'll say no. Vendilion Click is a yes.
Vendilion Click, absolutely. Ceremonious Rejection, no. Ruined Halo.
I don't think so.
No. Rest in Peace is a possibility.
It is, except that he plays Logic Nut and Snapcaster, so he's not going to want to turn off 2 of his cards.
Ketra's Last Mercy is not a possibility.
I don't expect to see that, no.
But the Dispel is.
Yes, the one of Dispel.
And the Vendilion Click.
The Vendilion Click, and maybe 2 Spell Quellers, but
I think you
not.
do decide in the Spell Quellers because you have so many dead cards.
You do, yeah.
So let's move over here into...
Surprised he doesn't have Geists in his board.
Well, Brandon does.
He does.
So Brandon has 2 Geist of St. Traft, 1 Detention Sphere, 1 Timely Reinforcements, 1 Negate, 2 Stony Silences, 3 Rest in Peace, 1 Celestial Purge.
Celestial Purge, which is what that other card would be in Brad's sideboard.
Yeah, neither of them put it in. 1 Dispel and 3 Ceremonies of Rejection. What I like here is Negate. I love Negate. I think it should, at some number in every control deck, be man board. At some number, even if that number is 1.
Well, he is playing Counter Squall. It's the same card.
That's fair. That's fair. You can give yourself extra copies. The Geist I do enjoy, and especially in this type of matchup where it's spot removal, and they probably both typically board out of Verdict.
Some number of verdicts.
So Geist, D-Sphere is a possibility because you have Planeswalkers on the other side.
Right.
Timely is a no.
No.
You would be really hedging. The Rest in Peace also is... It's a possibility, because like you're saying, Brad's a little more graveyard-based.
It'll be better for Brandon to bring it in than it would for Brad to bring it in.
Exactly. And then we have the Dispel I like, so... Yeah. Dispel, possibly Rest in Peace, Negate, possibly D-Sphere, and the Geist of St. Traft.
Yep.
Right. And they're going to get started on a quick game here.
Running low on time. I am very surprised Brad doesn't have Geist of St. Traft in his sideboard. It seems like exactly the kind of thing he'd need.
Are those Quellers? Or am I crazy? Yeah, Brad's going to mulligan that. Too few lands, like you were stating.
Yeah.
Where you want to be is making your land drops, and that's the most important part.
Is that 3 lands for Brandon there? Can't quite read that.
I wonder, you're right in the chat. I wonder if Brandon does play Logic Knot. I know that, like you're saying, the typical decks do be on a... Yeah, he's not on Logic Knot.
And we did see Mana Leaks out of his list.
Yeah, so that may be what he's slotting in that spot.
Yeah.
So, and there's the argument for either or, because like Logic Knot has this interesting thing where it gets like better over time.
Yeah.
Whereas Mana Leak is like just better earlier in the game. I mean, it did get Brad.
Yeah, a couple times, I think.
Definitely on the Elspeth.
Yes.
Brad dusting off our playmat, not good enough for his triple-sleeved cards.
It's his dirt anyway. He brought it with him.
He brought it with him. Alright. A lot of lands. And a Sphinx's Rev.
Is that mostly lands, Sphinx's Rev?
Blessed Alliance? Yep.
Going down to 5. Brave man.
Yeah. I know you're hedging, but Brandon's at 6, right?
Yeah, he did mulligan the once.
Yeah. And you're on the play, you're drawing less cards.
Yep.
So actually, the more you mulligan in a control deck, especially one like Brad's, it does typically seem to get worse. Yeah, especially if you're on the play. Brandon, last week I played him round 1. He was on Grixis Death Shadow.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
And he's playing Esper Control this week?
Yeah, I got him that round 1.
That hand is keepable.
Full grip of land, Serum Vision. And
it's 3 lands, Serum Visions, and a second blue card. Possibly Snapcaster? Turn 1 Colonnade. Alright, I like it.
Alright, Brandon is not playing White Suns, I believe.
There we go. Turn 2 Serum Visions.
This is a pretty streamlined, like, it's mostly walkers.
Yeah, Gideon's and Ashiok's look like his main win conditions.
Brad
But
keep
Serum
both on
Vision's
top?
kept a... He did, and one of those is a ruined halo. So he brought in the halo.
Remind me about Ruined Halo.
I believe it says, name a card, you have protection from chosen card.
Oh,
I believe. Look it up real quick.
so being targeted with Ashiok?
It would protect you from that. Yeah, you have protection from the chosen name. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know people were bringing it in against Scapeshift all day.
All day.
Let's go. Name that Valakut. We're going to have a Serum Vision on the other side of the table as well. He's going to draw.
And Brandon really can just kind of relax in this match with 17 minutes left.
Yeah, unless Brad draws very correctly, it looks good for Brandon,
Yeah,
just from an aspect of the last game and the mulligan that Brad had to take.
Yeah, that is a Ruined Halo, a Snapcaster Mage,
Spell Snare,
and a Detention Sphere for Brad's hand. I see a Gideon in Brandon's hand. Believe the newest one, the 3-drop.
Getting into the trials.
Yes.
I like that that's seeing modern play now. That
Me
was
too.
like I said, that was like my spicy ad nauseum tech, right? Esper Charm is a very good card.
It is.
Brandon is not playing.
Brandon's not on Esper Charm. And this is the third Esper deck we've seen today, and
But both of the other ones were.
yeah.
But Brandon is in a higher seed, I believe, than those other two decks.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah. So what he's doing is working for him. Of course, Brad.
I don't know that I would be able to resist playing Esper Charm in his position. I love
Oh yeah,
that
you
card.
expressed earlier your extreme love. So Brad had drawing lands, and it's where he wants to be.
Pretty much, he's just been ripping them up.
He's gonna
Crack
get
a couple
fetch.
fetches.
All right.
They've both been sitting on double flooded strand, just waiting to need them before they crack.
Let's see what he goes and grabs. I mean, typically he's in a spot where you can grab basic, right?
Yeah, and there he is, just
Yeah.
island.
The perks of playing 2 colors rather than 3, right?
Yes. Many more basics.
Oh, Colonnade is going to get an animation. And that's going to be good. Brandon doesn't have a response for that. Brad looking to close out a quick second game so he can have a good third game.
It's what he's hoping for.
Colonnade, as you were stating, is going to stay untapped. Brandon's going to double fetch, hoping to not have to shock himself, right? Yeah. Yeah. Let's go get our black sources.
Yeah. $15 minutes left, still only on game 2. I believe that Brad has gone to time before this.
Yes, he has a draw on his record. It's actually, as high as they are seated is not a bad place to be.
As long as he wins.
Yeah. So this round definitely is the win it in round, as we stated before. So
Yeah, either of these players wins this, they'll make top 8. That's Gideon of the Trials.
he's gonna plus targeting that colonnade.
And Slam, is that the new
That's the Geist.
Geist of Saint Traff, the new art?
Yeah. It's the old art.
Is that original
That's
art?
old. Yeah, that's old border. That's not original art. That is the old border.
Hey, it is the old frame, yeah.
So some sort of promo. And we're all my Geist promos. These sphere hitting Gideon. The burden of proof was put on Brandon, but he answered pretty well with Geist.
Yeah, now Brad needs to answer that Geist of Saint Traff. Now, do you ruined Halo here, naming Geist of Saint Traff? And
No,
then just
that's-
eat angels to the face?
No, no.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's bad. Like the Geist is not the problem. Brad gonna read to see probably the interaction you were talking about.
Yeah, and you can't just name Angel Token with your ruined Halo, as it's not a card.
Yeah. Yeah, Brad calling judge. He's gonna make sure.
Understandable. He's got to step away.
Yeah, we have our secondary judge handling this match. She's doing a great job.
Absolutely.
I know that our head judge Jonathan has I as part of the TO experience wanted to make sure that we made sure that we had the most professional level of judge at a tournament. I know it's kind of discouraging when you go to a tournament and you maybe see judges that are not acting right, stuff like that. And both of these people, and I've known Jonathan for a while, and both of them are super professional, and they always give you the answer that you're looking for. Now, Brad probably now making sure that he clarifies on what she meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had good experiences with both of these judges over the years at various events.
Well, hopefully they're granted some sort of extension here.
I don't think they're going to need one. Their time started pretty well.
Well, maybe granted an extension for the rules question.
Maybe.
Yeah. Brandon hoping to get his second one here.
He's not worried about it.
No?
He'd like to go to time here. Win game 1, draw game 2. You win the round.
You get 1 point instead of 3.
That's not a drawn round. If you go to time in game 2 and you won game 1, you win the round.
Is it 2 points? I've never seen a person get 3.
Why wouldn't it be full 3 points? You won the round.
I've entered that for people. I've never seen them get 3.
Huh.
It may be different.
I've always assumed that was just the win.
I
think
it's
2 games.
I think it's a win. It's a technical win as far as your tiebreakers are concerned, but I think it's a lower point value.
It doesn't sound like it should be, though.
Brad sort of triple, quadruple checking here.
Pretty sure this guy substitution draft is just going to win the game. What's the likelihood that Brad kept in Serum verdicts after seeing nothing but Planeswalkers, or not Supreme verdicts, after seeing nothing but Planeswalkers in game 1?
Exactly. That was my thought exactly. If he had been able to answer with Geist of his own, would be different. Missed the old legendary rule now that I'm talking about it. I remember people tech citing in Geist just to deal with people's Geist.
I remember that as well.
Good old legendary rule. So this may be the interaction that he was wondering about.
Alright, we got a Snapcaster Mage on that Serum Visions.
Okay, so...
Or just... I believe that was an instant speed snap.
That looks like a Supreme Will. So that's going to Mana Leak. The one that's in Standard right now, that Mana Leaks are impulses.
Wow.
It sees Modern play now.
Let's go.
Mana
Attempting to snap block here, but he's getting Mana Leaked instead.
That'll be the name of this game is the Mana Leaks coming Brad's direction. Got an Angel token.
Oh, I did that to the wrong player.
Yes.
There we go.
And Ancestral coming down, so even if Brad does find some sort of pressure, it doesn't look like it's going to do much.
And another Serum Visions.
Yeah, Brand.
Just continue to filter through your draws.
The third color seems to be working for Brandon here. One top, one bottom.
Both top.
Both top. Both top in that order. Right.
That looks like a Spell Snare along with the Runed Halo in Brad's hand. Spell Snare not doing anything here.
Yeah, it gets Counter Squall. It gets Mana Leak. It gets Snap. But not in this specific game. Has done nothing.
Yes.
Has been a dead card in Brad's hand. That's always been controlled.
It's like he's activating Colonnade?
Yeah.
You wouldn't keep that to block a Geist of Saint draft? least keep the mana up to activate during your opponent's turn. He gets in for 4 there.
Absolutely. He's trying to apply pressure. Both players turning into sort of these mid-range decks that are just like, okay, let's close out the game.
And in their attempts to close out the game, well, except for that Geist of St. Traft, kind of look like bumbling toddlers.
Okay, so fetch from Brad. Let's see what he has here. I think he has a Blessed Alliance.
Okay.
Which he should have responded to the...
The trigger. Yes. We've already been over this interaction, the last Esper matchup.
Yes. Let's see if that's the card that he has, and if so...
When he activated, or when he went to play it.
You think that might have been what he was asking the judge about?
No. It's
Okay,
just a
no.
Snapcaster
Okay,
anyway.
it's just
He
a
just wants to block.
Okay. Yeah, he wants to block.
Needs to get this Geist off the table.
He wants to block and he wants to eat 4. He doesn't want to eat the 4.
He has to eat the 4. Yeah.
He's sitting on the Ruined Halo and the Spell Snare.
And then we're going to path before he gets to declare blocks.
Alright, Brad.
Brad's going to eat 6. Brandon's threatening lethal.
Like I said, long game wise, short game wise, Brandon is in a bad, or is in a good spot here because of the Ancestral.
Yeah, if Brad manages to find an answer to this Geist, which I don't expect he will. I imagine here comes a Ruined Halo, so that buys him 1 turn if he names Geist of St. Traft.
Right.
Because it can still attack, he just won't take any damage from it, and then he'll take the 4 from the Angel itself.
Let's get over to the Twitch feed. I'm unsure who does this tokens. I've seen them before, though. I know they're specific to an artist at a GP. Alright.
We had a fetch crack there.
Yep. Brad just trying to survive. And I think he realizes it.
Yeah. Oh, that's game.
Oh, yeah.
Unless Brad has an answer. He does have cards in hand. But I think that's it. No, he left up Colonnade this turn. So he can activate his Colonnade.
Yeah, he does have the backup.
We've got Steven in chat letting us know those tokens are from RK Post.
Ah, thank you, Steven, and thank you, RK Post, for providing amazing artwork.
Always.
Ancestral's 1 turn away. That's bad.
Very bad.
The situation already is bad.
Oh, we have is it a draw step Vendilion click?
It looks to be so. So Vendilion click correctly as you assumed is coming in. Dispel, Countersquall, D-Sphere. None of these feel good.
No.
Oh.
I think he has to take the Detention Sphere, but he takes the Dispel. Or Dispel. So, Detention Sphere... Does protection from a creature mean you can't be attacked, so he can't even trigger his Geist anymore? Is that what's happening here?
Was that the interaction that he
That might be what he was getting...
Elspeth Sun's Champion coming down here, but that's going to get countersqualled.
Yeah, you can't be targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted by anything with that name. So, technically, Geist of St. Traft can still attack into Brad. It just can't deal damage.
But now
So
Brad has
it'll
a
still
flyer, and he's been keeping up a deal on the ground. Why is Brandon not playing that countersquall? Is that not a countersquall?
It must not be.
Yeah, that must be a different art card, because There's no reason that he shouldn't be playing that. So that Ancestral is going to come off suspend, but there's an Elspeth on the board. Interesting.
Brad gonna push this to time?
Interesting. What is that card in Brandon's hands?
We got another fetch from Brandon.
It looks like it's the one of Counter Squall.
That's what I assume it is. It's the only thing that fits.
Why would you not play it? I'm confused.
Well, he's got Tension Sphere on the soldier tokens. Okay. There's a Snapcaster Mage. Path to exile your Vendilion Click. Okay.
Get in there. That's the handshake.
There it is. Send the angel across. All right.
Yeah, that'd be the end of that round. That's wow. I'm still looking at this list, trying to figure out what that card is. Oh, you know what it was? It was the second Geist of Saint Trapped.
Ah,
Because
yeah.
they had the similar dark artwork.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what that was. That was actually the secondary Geist of Saint Trapped. And
That's reasonable.
We have little to no time here, but we're about to cut to top 8.
Yeah. We will be back with you guys. Just 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll find out what's going on here with top 8.
Yeah. And then we'll see what matchup, what semis we want to show. Or
Alright.
quarters. Yeah.
Yep.
Quarters.
Okay.
Awesome. I've never top 8'd. It's on me.
All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.